War Within is not the PvP expansion I want it to be, and I'm okay with that. It sucks to say, it hurts to say, but I'm okay with that. So for me, in War Within, I'm going to be trying what Blizzard does best. Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today I want to talk about the two most asked questions in the Twitch chat. The first being, hey Zar, what are your honest thoughts about War Within, about the new expansion? Should I buy it or should I skip? Right? Or maybe should I buy the early access or should I wait? But by the time this video comes out, it'll probably be about the time to wait anyway. And then the second one is, hey Zar, what are your plans for War Within? Do you plan to PvP? You gonna go for more rank 1 titles? You gonna compete? You gonna not do any of that? So in this video, we're gonna split it into two parts. The first part is my honest thoughts on the War Within. The second part are my plans for the War Within. So let's get into it. The first part here, my honest thoughts. So let's look at this from your guys' perspective. The first thing that I think about is, well, why did you quit WoW in the first place if you're thinking about potentially coming back? If you quit World of Warcraft because you couldn't find people to play with, or the game didn't respect your time, or there was just not enough systems in place that allowed you to play the alts that you wanted to play, I think all three of those specific reasons are fantastic reasons to come back in the War Within. Well, why? Well, alt ability is way easier. One, it's really fast to level, but two, with the warband feature in War Within, you can make alts and share progress through those different characters very, very easily. Okay, well, what about I have no one to play with? It's like, well, okay, there's Battleground Blitz. You can play Battlegrounds on a rated system without needing to find other players. You can just queue up. There's Solo Shuffle, which was implemented in Dragonflight. And there's story mode for the raids. You can see the end of the story mode even if you don't want to raid. There's delves that are single player. So what am I trying to say here? If you quit because you couldn't spend the time to sit down and look for groups and socialize and network to climb the ranks of the game, it's like, well, now you can do delves and get heroic level gear. You can complete the raids in story mode, and you can queue Battleground solo at your timeline. So there's a lot of good reasons to come back if that was the reason you quit, right? So for me, there's reasons to maybe not come back too, right? If you are looking for World of Warcraft to return to its classic variant, looking for World of Warcraft to return back to how it used to be, back to how I played as a kid, War Within's not for you. That's a reason not to come back, right? War Within's not for you if you're that person. You have Classic WoW, you have Kata for that. Maybe Classic Plus in the future. We've seen some rumors, right? War Within is not the WoW we grew up with, nor necessarily should it be, right? They're moving further and further away from that. They're moving into more alt ability, more ease of leveling, even quicker leveling, more systems, right? So in that sense, I would say it's not for you. Another example, if you quit because you didn't enjoy modern combat, right? The modern combat, what I mean is everyone has a lot of mobility, everyone has a lot of self-healing, and there's a lot of AoE in the game. If you don't enjoy that, like that Dragonflight style combat or a more modern style combat, right? Contrasted to more of an antique style combat, right? Like a classic style combat where when you hit Fire Blast, the target's life goes down. You can like see that, right? It's not like you're pressing 5,000 buttons to see any type of result in the target's health bar, right? Those are the two different styles, by the way, right? Just to define what we're talking about here a little bit. If that's why you quit, then it's probably not a good idea for you to come back either, because the combat system's the same as Dragonflight. It's 95% the same. You have new hero talents, which are very interesting and unique, but it still feels about 95% the same as Dragonflight. Now, if you liked the combat in Dragonflight, you liked those modern systems, but you quit because you couldn't find people to play with or some of those other things we talked about, it's the expansion for you, and I would definitely recommend coming back. So hopefully that clarifies who the expansion is great for and who the expansion is not so great for. In this video, I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible and just let you guys know, should the person watching this video, should I spend my money or not? hopefully that answers your question on whether or not you should spend your money on this new expansion. If you want to get into my own personal biases, for me, that combat thing is a big deal. And I'm going to kind of transition into the second part of the video about my plans for War Within. So as you guys might know, I've talked about it in a lot of other videos. I wanted this video to kind of sum everything up so I could link people to this and be like, this is what I officially feel like, right? After playing for a couple of days. The combat for me is a big deal. I transparently love the old style of combat in WoW. I think for PvP, more simplistic combat is very good, right? This video isn't going to go super in depth on this. I think I might have other topics and videos on this. For PvP, simplicity is king because PvP gets very complicated very quick. When you think of a game like Counter-Strike, like there's only a couple buttons, but it's infinitely complex. League of Legends, 6 buttons. Well, 4 if you don't count summoners. Infinitely complex, very complex, right? You want the rotations to be simple for incredibly good PvP, in my opinion. So when you have Wrath of the Lich King, a lot of people call it like the best PvP expansion, or Kata or Mop. A lot of the rotations were fairly simple. I think that was very good for PvP. Now let me say this. I don't think simple rotations are good for PvE. It allows people to get very bored very quickly, especially the top end players, and like the mid tier or bottom tier players have nothing to really to aspire to because the rotations are so simple. Everyone's kind of figured it out and everyone's doing the same thing. And you have a system where it's like the PvE just gets boring. I want to say maybe something like New World, right? Where there's like 4 buttons PvE and everyone kind of like knows how to do the rotation. So it's not that complex and there's like no complexity and depth in it. So people end up quitting. Another example off the top of the head, it could be like if League of Legends made a PvE mode where you just used your 4 buttons to max the damage. Maybe it would be fun for a little bit, a couple weeks, but like at the end of the day, it would probably be pretty shallow in terms of the complexities. So people would probably get bored and quit pretty quick because it's like, there's 4 buttons. Like how complex can a 4-button rotation really get? Right? So in World of Warcraft, one of the pros of more modern style game design is that the complexities of the rotations make PvE interesting for a longer period of time. That very pro is a con, in my opinion, in PvP. So what do we have? Well, we have a situation where if you want to make really great PvP, you need to simplify the rotations to like have spells meaningful, right? If you press an Eviscerate on a rogue, it's going to chunk someone's life, right? If you press an Frostbolt Iceland Shatter on a mage, it's going to chunk someone down, right? In a simplistic way, because there's communication happening. You know, in PvP, it's like, okay, well, I'll CC this guy, you CC that guy. Like, there's so much happening that you can't have these like incredibly complex rotations. To add on to that, and I don't want to go too deep in here because I could talk like an hour or 2 about this easily. But to add on to that, a lot of the more modern class designs are AoE based. Everything is AoE. So it's like, well, why did Blizzard like get to this AoE style of design? And it's like, well, because Mythic Plus is a really great feature. A lot of people like Mythic Plus. And if you want a Mythic Plus at a high level, your class needs to AoE. So we need to actually make most classes be able to AoE, at least to some degree, because if you don't, then you won't be able to participate in Mythic Plus, which is one of the biggest game modes in World of Warcraft at this point. So it's like, okay, I'm Blizzard. We need more classes to be able to AoE. So like an Arcane Mage that's normally single target, let's give them like Touch of the Magi, which is just going to AoE. And let's make Arcane Barrage AoE. And let's give them Orb, and let's give them all of this AoE. Whereas traditionally it's more of a single target thing, right? From a PvP perspective, all of those things suck, right? Touch the Magi will break CC, so you can't really use it when you want to use it. So it's like anti-synergistic and it feels bad, right? Once again, like Arcane Barrage splitting and messing up CC's orbs coming out when you Arcane Barrage and breaking stuff. Like it's just, it all sucks. So what was Blizzard's response? So it's like, well, Blizzard's response was, let's make Polymorph like not break on damage, and let's make CCs not break on damage as much, and let's make CCs shorter and not matter as much. So that's what Blizzard did mid-Dragonflight. Once again, I think it's like an okay solution, but for me, it removes the complexity of PvP quite a bit and turns it into who can AoE better and not die. And that's kind of what PvP has started to become. Now, this video is not to hate on PvP necessarily, because I think there's still a lot of people that enjoy PvP, and might even enjoy it more now than ever before. So if that's you, that's awesome. All right, I'm talking from my perspective. I don't enjoy that as much. I like single target for most classes. And some classes being AoE focused is fine. Like an Affliction Warlock multi-dotting, I'm cool with that. But like an Arms Warrior or a Sub Rogue, like a lot of these classes should be more single target focused, in my opinion, for good PvP. And the simplicity bring the complexity is brought through the simplicity through the PvP in itself, right? So through coordination, communication, positioning, those types of things. Anyway, that's a little more long-winded than I wanted to really get on that topic. Like I said, I could go a lot deeper there, but the idea is, for me, is not the PvP expansion I want it to be, and I'm okay with that. It sucks to say, it hurts to say, but I'm okay with that. So for me, in Warathan, I'm going to be trying what Blizzard does best. I'm going to be trying a little bit of the lore, the storytelling, the Mythic Plus, the raids, delves, new features, outside world exploration, just enjoying the game as it was built for like most people and not the like niche PvP community. Very different than I've ever played any other expansion in my life. Normally it's all just get max level, honor grind, PvP, here we go. This time, I just want to make this video to say that's not really my focus, for a lot of the reasons I just said, and for a couple more that I'll mention in a second here. But I still want to play. I still want to check it out. I'm a WoW player. I've been playing since 2004. I've played the whole time pretty much, besides gaps here and there, but I've pretty much played the last 20 years, and it's a new WoW expansion. So of course I want to check it out. But I just want to like let you guys know my feeling on that. And I just because I know a lot of you are thinking this right now, let me just reply to what you guys are thinking. What if Blizzard separated PvP and PvE, and in PvE they did a bunch of AoE stuff because you need it for Mythic Plus, and a bunch of mobility because you need it for Mythic Plus, and a bunch of self heals because you need it for Mythic Plus, and a bunch of that because you need it, and in PvP they redesigned the game? Maybe that would be quite a task. That would be quite a task. They would quite literally have to like divide the game in two. And like, I don't even know if that's a good thing. It might be more divisive than helpful anyway. And then you'd have to like, every spell would have to change. Like Comet Storm would have to become single target in PvP. Ice Nova, single target. Like Ice Lance, splitting ice would have to not like there's so many, like that's just like one spec. That's Frost Mage, right? Like it would be such a gigantic project to redevelop everything from the ground up for the other side that I'm not even sure if it would be worth it. Plus it would be incredibly confusing. And anyway, a game like Lost Ark has done that, where in Lost Ark there's a PvP, each ability has what it does. But if you hold, I think, Alt or Shift or something, it'll tell you what it does in PvP. So there's like a PvP version of the ability and a normal version. I don't know if that's the right path forward for WoW, but I know a lot of you were thinking that, and I guess all I can say there is maybe. Sure, I don't know, like maybe. It's just an incredibly large task, and I don't know if the return is necessarily there. And then to kind of end the video, we'll give some like kind of sad little vibes first, and then end it on a happier note. Well, it's not. I mean, not really sad. They're both happy notes, really, but yeah, they're both happy notes. We'll call them both happy notes. I haven't played PvP since Dragonflight Season 1. It's my last season I played. And, you know, I got rank 1, whatever. And in that last season, I kind of in my head was thinking this might be the last one. It was a big moment for me because I've been playing you know, competitive arenas for most of my life. And I didn't want to make a video saying Xaryu is quitting arenas, Xaryu is quitting PvP and stuff like that, because I didn't want to come off like dramatic, and you know, like because if I deep down, if I want to play, I'm gonna play, right? I'm not gonna like force myself not to. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do, really. But a lot of that decision that I made a year and a half ago was because my wife was pregnant. You know, we had our son last November, and I don't want to be up screaming, you know, you know, Poly 1, CS 1, kill, like, you know, at 2 a.m. pushing rank 1 titles anymore. I'm sorry if that's sad. I know it's not fun to hear. I didn't want to come off overly dramatic because, like I said, I'll play if I want to, but I've been loving variety streaming, playing hardcore WoW, doing the role playing in Moonguard the last few weeks. I'm excited for some Mythic Pluses. I'm excited. I did Cataclysm Heroic raids. I'm excited to hop around WoW versions as a variety, right? Play different things that everyone else has been experiencing the last 20 years, but I've just been playing arenas the whole time. I'm excited to just play WoW a bit more casually and hang out and have fun and mess around. And, you know, if you know, if I feel like it, I'll do whatever I want. But like that's the majority of what I really want to do right now. And I've really been enjoying that. I've been enjoying turning my stream off at 5 p.m. and making dinner with my wife and giving the baby a bath and having a nice evening. I've been enjoying that. I haven't had that for the last 12 years, really. You know, I've been playing WoW arenas at a high level. You know, tournaments here and there, not necessarily AWC because of the Arizona state law stuff, but yeah, it's really nice to just play games and have fun for once. So that's where my head's at there. I know for me that's a happy note. For some of you that's a happy note. Maybe for some of you that's a sad note. You can let me know. To end on a happy note, which I know you guys will like, because I know some of you guys might be thinking this. Wait, so no arenas with Peekaboo? Or, you know, Mitch or your friends or whatever. For the most part, like I don't plan to really push arenas, no. And I just wanted to make that video to be very clear. So everyone has, I want to be very transparent. I want everyone's expectations to be in line for what's actually to come. So that's why I wanted to make this video, because we had a lot of questions. Having said that, you know, if one day Peek is on early and he's like, want to hit up a quick 2 session for old time's sake for fun, I mean, I'm down, right? I'm down. Like we can still banter and have fun and play a little bit of arenas. Like it's not, I'm not going to say like absolutely not even going to step into one arena for 1 second. Like my point is of the video, I'm not going to be like, at least at this point in time, I don't want to say forever, at least at this point in time, I'm really enjoying creating content, variety content, stepping outside my comfort zone, doing things I haven't done before, and doing it on a little bit more of a casual pace. It's been the first time in, well, we've been pushing rank 1. I think that's almost 20 seasons in a row. Let that sink in, boys. It's like almost 20 seasons straight, man. Something like that, I don't know. I think it's really, I'm really enjoying, you know, the casual style of stuff. But hey, maybe we'll hop in some casual arenas with Peekaboo. Who knows? All right. Anyways, I hope this video helped you understand whether or not you should buy the War Within. All right. For the people that I think it's going to be awesome for, and the people who maybe should stay away. And my plans on going into the War Within, I think that should answer most questions. I hope this wasn't a super disappointing video. I know for some of you it might be, but for some of you it might be pretty cool too. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the streams. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you did it, you can thumbs it down. That's okay too. And let me know in the comments what you think about all this. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.